spent the last 2 weeks talking to the rising icons in business, the new urban entrepreneur. From the CEO of American Rebel, a PR, marketing, and branding company, to Laughster and Evo Kitchen, an organic restaurant in West Hollywood. These individuals have taken the leap of faith to contribute to the global marketplace. Now, here's the last part of our conversation. Listen up. I'm Ri'chard, and we're asking some more in-depth questions for the aspiring entrepreneur to watch. So, sort of constructing a business plan, so that stuff. Where did you guys start as far as starting your entity, the corporation or thing that you own? How did you guys put that together?
From the ground up, from the very beginning. I didn't know it was a business as it was starting. Mm-hmm. It was just a little cash operation, mm-hmm. And then we kind of started figuring out, all right, this is growing into something bigger. Acted as a sole proprietor in the very beginning, and then about 1.5 years in, decided to incorporate. So that was very exciting and a big step. Sat down shortly after I started the business and really figured out the business plan, because once I saw the bigger picture, I needed to figure out, okay, where is this going and where do I want it to be? Mm-hmm. And I think that's important to know all that stuff and write it all down and get it on paper. Like we were talking about earlier, there's stuff that you would put down for investors, but I think a lot of it is for you to know how your plan of action is going to be carried out.
That's great. You were at a company as an employee.
Yeah.
So they wrote you a check every day, every 2 weeks or whatever, and they paid you. And then you left.
Yeah.
And you took one of your buddies with you, and where'd you guys start?
Yeah, actually one of my other partners at Google.
Okay.
And we just kind of really made sure to get advice from people that we knew were smart. We knew what we didn't know, and that was the important thing. And so we became an LLC very quickly. Mm-hmm. We created documentation that wouldn't let anyone take our ideas that worked with us. And so it's necessary to really, if you're gonna have a team and they're all gonna be working towards one goal, really make sure that you have all the paperwork and LLC formation before you start doing anything. And just make sure you're working with the right people and knowing what you're signing. Because sometimes if you work with people that are helping you and you sign something, you don't realize that you're, what you're signing. So I think it's important to be methodical from the very beginning. And there's, I wish I would have done certain things differently when I was starting out.
Okay. Yeah. That's great. What about you?
I'm actually an LLC as well, and I use the website for the city, and I was telling you it's either ca.gov or the mayor pops up. It talks about like opening a small business, and it gives you step by step for permitting, because as for restaurants, it's very specific, from your air conditioning unit to the bathrooms you build out to your oven to the hood. There's so many technical things that are involved, and then also any food that's brought in has to be regulated, and so there's permitting for every little thing you can think of. Right. The city has a permit for. If you want to put a table outside, you got a permit. It's kind of very intense.
Just for the viewer, what we're talking about is pretty much how you pay your taxes. Sole proprietorship, S Corp, C Corp, and LLC are different types of ways of starting a business. When I was 18 years old, my 18th birthday, I started my own S Corp. And I just went on to the website and saw different options of what an S Corp does and what a C Corp does and what kind of taxes you pay. And sort of C Corp, you end up paying almost double the taxes or whatever, but there's other benefits from it. But I thought that S Corp was the most in line for me, and then I did that, and that's how I started to take money in and whatnot. That's just for the viewer.
One of the places for a digital entrepreneur to go is a site that we've always used called Quora, and it's spelled Quora. And it was started because people wanted, that were starting companies like mine, wanted advice from people that knew what they were talking about, not just some random user online. And so we just literally type in a question and then put Quora after it, and we'll get advice from like executives at AOL or Google or Facebook, and they're on there giving people advice, and we'll answer your question right away. And so it's been a really, really helpful tool.
I highly recommend talking to other business owners in the field that you want to open a business in. I was actually inspired to open a restaurant from a few friends of mine that have similar style of restaurants, and Before opening, I took him out to lunch and actually her, and asked her like a whole load of questions, and then ended up giving her gift certificates for her and her employees to come and use as like an exchange.
Right.
And I've since opening have met other restaurant owners that are kind of in a similar intention, vibration of what I'm doing too, that are really successful and have like multiple locations and are just about to like explode. And they've actually kind of taken me under their wing as well and shared with me marketing tools and things that work for them in terms of growth and expansion. So I highly recommend being open to talk to other business owners in your field.
You're not an island, you're part of a community.
We are, and there's that concept of like I want to do it myself, but we really, we're in an economy where you have to ask for help and you have to have support.
And do you feel that you avoided any maybe crucial mistakes that you might have made by asking these questions in the beginning?
Nope. I think that you're going to make mistakes. You have to be willing to make mistakes. I find that I have to keep reminding myself on a day-to-day basis that, when the blank hits the fan, it's not that big of a deal. And the more I can like exhale in those moments of like crisis, we work through it faster, as a team.
I think that you just got to jump in. I think if you find something that you are really passionate about, something that you're really good at, I think sky's the limit. Like we've talked about, there's so many resources out there available. Like you were saying, finding people that support you in doing what you want to do, creating that supportive unit to move forward. Like I'm so fortunate that I have several students who started dancing with me who are now part of my company. So we're all very close friends, but we work together and we further the business. So really having those things in place, but also taking the proper steps legally, financially. Like don't skip out on that stuff, because it really could come back and bite you later on down the road. You're only setting yourself up for success if you take those steps and follow through with them. So what is it? Cross your T's and dot your I's. Learn. It's always a growing experience and a learning experience. No one does it right the first time usually. Just learn from every mistake and just keep going forward and drive it by passion.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that mine is be persistent. Just there's so many times where you could just be like, it's so much easier to do something else. I think it's a balance of just really being persistent and making sure that you have a good balance in your life.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, that was a lot of fun. Now remember, all lasting businesses are built upon friendship. Alfred Montepert. What incredible talent fused together with mastery and hard work. I know I'm inspired. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Urban Icon TV. Thank you for watching Revurber8. I'm Ri'chard. Until next time.